Welcome back to the channel, Warhammer Man back in the studio, and today we're taking a look at a new box set for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and warcry content as well. Everything from reactions, reviews, news, pricing, to tutorials on how to paint, model, convert, magnetize, pretty much anything to do with Warhammer tabletop games and skirmish games as well. That being said, let's jump right in. Avenging Sylvaneth chased the Skaven across the realms in Echoes of Doom. So Echoes of Doom, a new box set coming out here. Those of you who caught our Warhammer Fest live coverage will remember some truly awesome new models for the Skaven and Sylvaneth. Well, the excitement doesn't end there. They're arriving in a battle box oozing with narrative content, game scenarios, and of course, plenty of miniatures. As the vengeful servants of Alarielle chase down the thieving Skaven, Echoes of Doom are ricocheting across the mortal realms. Pretty cool box art there. What have the servants of the Horn Rat done this time? They've only gone and dug out a gnawhole right in the heart of Gyron to pilfer a juicy harvest of soul pods. Classic Skaven, led by the Greyseer Skritat, master of subtlety, and they led a surprisingly successful heist into Neos. This sacred land near the very center of the Everspring Swath was considered impenetrable, making the crime even more of an affront to Alarielle and her children. Luckily for the Sylvaneth, Skritat was always doomed to fail. Unbeknownst to him, his trusted assassin, Deathmaster Virtik, had been hired by another party keen to see the Skitrat's downfall. All it took was a well-laid trail of clues, allowing the Sylvaneth to follow them back to Akshi and take their revenge, and stopping the overambitious Skitrat's rise of power. So we'll take a look at all the pictures here in just a sec. Leaving her realm for the first time came the Lady of Vines, legendary commander and daughter of Alarielle herself, cut from the goddess in her warlike summer aspect. The lady and her army reap a bloody path straight to Skitrat's retreating forces, triggering an all-out battle. The battle box contains everything you need to play out a grudge match between the thieving Skaven and the vengeful Sylvaneth. It's ready to play straight out of the box, and it's perfect for going halves with a friend, starting a new army, or bolstering your existing forces. It is the first place to get the Gossamid Archers for the Sylvaneth, who are capable of dealing a deadly D3 mortal wounds per arrow. You can also find a whole host of gameplay gubbins, including a giant token sheet, a copy of the core rules, and Warscroll Cards. Of course, it wouldn't be a battle box without a new narrative supplement, driving into greater detail about the Sylvaneth-Skaven showdown and the struggle for the soul pods. More information about this box is inbound. So we'll just go back through it here. So we see, obviously, there is a core rule book in the back right here that appears to be different than what we've previously seen for like the softcover core rules, as normally it's like the half-size book but has all the rules in it. So they obviously have done something a little different. And then we have the Echoes of Doom, which will have like campaign missions and whatnot, a couple of token sheets, a measuring like range ruler thing going on here, and then we have the Echoes of Doom Warscroll Cards for all the units including the new ones, and this will be like first access to the new models and then also new rules. So basically the only thing you need for this box to play is some dice and obviously somewhere to play. So here we see these new Gossamid Archers, very, very cool models for sure. Definitely really liking these. They are awesome. If you haven't checked these out already, they appear at first to be sort of like pixies or fairies or something like that. But upon closer inspection, it's actually like a bug with wings holding on to the back of their sort of like wooden kind of like body armor. So these are just regular sort of like, I don't even know what you would call them, you know, the wood elves or whatever, portion of them without wings. And then they have basically like a bug backpack that lets them fly. Pretty awesome in my opinion. Very, very creative. I like it. And then here's the new character, the Lady of Vines. Very cool. We can see in the picture up above, she's actually like pretty darn big. It was hard to kind of get like a size for her, but she's basically like a massive dryad. And then we see the new Skaven Assassin right here. Again, very, very cool model. So let's take a look at the actual box set. They don't give us a straight up list of what's in the box set, but we can get a pretty good idea here. And I wish I could remember the names for all this stuff. So for the Skaven Force, we have the new Assassin model, which is very cool. And then we have 20 of the clan rats. And then we have 10 of the, oh, what are they called? I can't think of the name of those guys off the bat. And then we have the Screaming Bell. So just the Skaven portion of it and what we know already. Well, the Screaming Bell makes 2 different kits, and that's $70. And then this is a, I believe, $60 kit of clan rats for 20 of them. And then it's normally $60 for these guys as well. Man, I cannot think of the name. But you get 20 of them normally. There's only 10 here, so that would be 30. So we have 70 and 30, that's 100, plus 60 for the clan rats, and then, you know, probably 40 for the character. So that's $200 worth of Skaven right off the bat. And we know these boxes have been coming out right around $200. So the Skaven essentially at retail value already pay for the box. And then let's take a look over here. So typical kit around this size for 5 models is probably going to be $50 to $60. I imagine because they're kind of like elevated and have the wings, they're probably going to be on the $60 range. These are $60 also. The Treelord can make like a few different kits, and he is 70. So if we say 60 and 60, that's 120 plus 70, that's 190. And then this is pretty beefy, so I would say she's probably going to be $50. So that's about $240 worth of the Sylvaneth. So roughly at this point in time, we have 200 in Skaven and 240 in Sylvaneth. That's $440 in this box, just at like retail value miniatures. This model is super cool. I really like it. This one is pretty cool. The model is pretty cool overall. A little something different. These things are absolutely awesome. I'm a big fan of them. And then obviously you get your campaign territory book and everything, the Warscroll Cards, all that. So, you know, depending if you give that any value or not, you know, we easily have a box set here coming out at probably around $200. Hopefully we don't see additional price increases on this, but with roughly, you know, $400 plus in value in the set. So essentially a 50%, you know, price savings over buying all this stuff at retail. Now, arguably, you can get deals on some of this stuff because this big model and this big model both come in the start collecting boxes for their respective factions, and the start collecting boxes are about $100. So you get like him and a bunch of dryads, and then a dryad character for about $100. You get this thing, you get the catapult, and then you get 20 of the plague monks. Stormvermin, that's what these guys are called. 20 of the plague monks, and that's about $100. So you can get some decent savings on a couple of these items inside of the start collecting boxes currently. But if you ask me, hey, you know, I'm going to buy a start collecting box for $100 of Skaven and $100 of Sylvaneth, would I rather have those 2 start collecting boxes, or would I rather have this right here for $200? I would definitely go with this. I think this is much, much cooler. Definitely a better overall box. Now, granted, the Sylvaneth don't really have like your basic like troops. I don't know who. I don't think any of these classify as actual troops in your army. And it's a little shy on models, but you could easily just throw some dryads or something else in with this army to like fill it out. As far as the Skaven, I think the Skaven set is much better than the start collecting. I mean, the plague monks are pretty cool and everything, but you're getting 20 plague monks, you're getting the screaming bell, and then you're getting one other like large thing. It's like the catapult, and you can build the bell and the catapult in them like different ways. In this, you're getting like one really nice character. You're getting the bell. You're getting the regular Skaven clan rats, like instead of the plague monks, and then you're getting also the Stormvermin. So I think this is a better box. It obviously comes with some new models, and I would take this over the new starter. So when it's all said and done, looks like a great value. I mean, you really got to give it to Games Workshop on Sigmar, because overall, and maybe it's just a perspective thing, but overall, it seems like the value that they're giving with Sigmar is awesome, but they're eroding away the value that you get with the 40K stuff. And I know that's probably based on sales and profitability. You know, obviously they sell a lot more 40K, so they can charge higher margins, like charge higher, make more profits, not give as much of a discount. as where they have to sort of like incentivize Sigmar players. But in the end, I wonder if they're going to end up like cannibalizing some of their sales, because I think a lot of people probably are like, oh, maybe I'll just go play Sigmar. So much like more reasonably priced. And then even Sigmar compared to like alternative games, you know, is still not cheap by any means. But compared to 40K, you get awesome deals on Sigmar. And then if you were going to play Warcry and you wanted to pick up this box, I think you would probably be okay, because I know you can use these guys in Warcry. They're not going to have new Warcry rules, and these can't go. So it's probably not the best thing to get into Warcry with. But if you are looking to get into Sigmar, looking to split with a friend, or even if you're just looking for half this box, you can pick the whole thing up and then sell the half you're not using and recoup some of the expenses. But we'll see some more info on this box as it comes down the pipe. We'll get some like rules previews and everything. But overall, gotta say this is another really nice box for Sigmar. Definitely impressed by the contents of this thing, and it seems like the value on these things is just, I mean, stellar. We've seen the last couple of these boxes with over $400 in retail value, and they're priced between like $170 and $200. So over 50% savings. So again, gotta say this is a great box. Definitely looking forward to this. And I don't have any Skaven like at all. I mean, I have a couple random models here and there, but the Skaven are pretty cool. And while I was hoping for a few more models, I have a feeling I'm definitely going to be picking this one up. I've always liked Sylvaneth. They were like my first fantasy army back in the day was the Wood Elves, and I really like the direction they're taking it in. But I've always had a soft spot for the rat boys as well. So maybe this will be the start to my Skaven collection. But going to go ahead and wrap it up there. So let me know what you guys think down below. Are you a big fan of the Skaven? I know you were probably wishing for some more models if you were. Are you a big fan of the Sylvaneth and the juiced up Dryad Queen? These are probably my favorite out of the set. I do really like the giant like Treelord guys as well, and the variants. But overall, very cool set. Definitely some cool art, and it looks like this thing is going to be loaded with value. So once again, another winner in my opinion. So that's it for today. Let me know what you think down below. If you are into reactions, reviews, news, pricing, all kinds of painting, modeling, magnetization tutorials, make sure you check out my playlist. Everything from Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, some Horus Heresy, a little bit of D&D, pretty much anything to do with tabletop war games or, Dungeons and Dragons. But that's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.